do.
Right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Worcester Club channel where we've not been able to stream for 2 weeks because YouTube decided it wouldn't let me log into the account for Streamlabs. But we're back. We are back and ready to talk about the news of the week, along with guests from the community. Though we've got two standard guests here, always reliable. So hello Tharium, how are you doing?
Um, yeah, I'm doing yes. That's how I'm
You're
doing.
doing yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take a doing yes. What about you, Cero? Are you doing yes or are you doing no? You're
I'm
doing
doing standard issue. Cero is ready for duty.
standard
There
issue,
you go.
Cero. Very nice. Very nice. There you go. Says I got no viewers on there, but it says I've got 7 in the street on Streamlabs, I should say. But it says I've got 10 actually in YouTube Studio, so that's interesting. Hopefully everything's going through fine. All I've got is Tory Buttle saying they're never early.
Showing 8 for me, 8 viewers.
Yeah, there you go.
The
Okay, it's
Club
coming through now.
Never
Excellent.
late nor is it early.
It's always just on time.
I mean,
yeah, we're wizards. But yes, now we're at the start. Don't forget to like the stream. I see 12 of you now. Of course, you can become a member too. Though I would say if you're already a member on my channel, you know, you'd be basically paying double to me. I'm not going to say no, just going to let you know all the money goes towards me, given I run these things. And of course, subscribe, join the Discord, all that good housekeeping stuff. Oh, and subscribe to my channel as well, actually. But that's not easy to get to, because I don't put a link in there. But you'll know me.
and it is a pain in the ass to spell.
Is it? Is it?
I was going to mention the spelling. Yeah, it's like, look, right. Just on an aside, there was like that old UI UX guy who basically said, you know, can my elderly mum or can a drunk person use my website? You need to think, can Cero 10 pints deep, you know,
Spell
wriggle his
Gladive.
yeah, can he spell Harry Gladive or whatever it
I'm pretty sure to search for me, all you have to type is Harry in anyway, so I don't think it's that bad. Like just
yeah, but like
I
you gotta think 10 pints deep.
I remember when I was first trying to find you after I saw you on AA's channel. Going back a while, I was like, Gladive, how the fuck do you spell this? And it wasn't coming up. Took a while.
And not to be funny, right? I'm not sure if you picked the Worcester Club as a way of filtering the Yanks, but
yes,
but yeah, there's no way that anyone sort of what was it anywhere west of Europe is going to be able to spell Worcester or even say it.
Well, yeah, as you
John
say,
did-
it was to filter out the Americans.
John did explicitly say that.
Oh, that's so funny.
The Worcester Club. Oh, that place.
I will say my name does do one thing that I really wanted it to do, which is everyone kind of it's unique. You know, everyone remembers it. I'm not confused for anyone else by any stretch of the imagination. So
no, and you're
so
not
at
gonna
least
get,
it did
like,
that.
Flooded search terms.
No, that's true, but it does make it a pain for people to find me, unfortunately. Even when I mentioned it in real life, I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother saying my name, like my YouTube name. It's just pointless. Like you won't be able to find it. So here's a link. Anyway, I did get a £2 super chat though from Mr. Burr. Rest in peace, Pope Francis. Well, we will get into that, into the international news. Thank you very much for the super chat. That's another way to support the channel, by the way. Super chat or you know, super thanks after the video's over. Though super chatting's probably better because we actually react to it. And not only that, obviously, membership as well, but I've been through that. But don't forget to like the video. Right, that's enough shilling. Right, onto the meme, which tonight is obviously Homoland. People haven't been very happy over on the far right, or the dork right, or whatever we want to call it. I don't really have a problem with calling them far right, to be quite honest with you. But they've had a bit of a mare. I take it. Do you both know the story of why it's called Homoland now? I did a pretty in-depth video on it. Sarah, I think you watched it. You corrected me that Latvians are in fact not Slavic; they are Baltic, which whatever.
Yes,
I have
dated from both poles, and so therefore I am an expert on the subject.
I did have someone in my comment who also corrected me saying, "Oh, marrying a, the Aryans would have loved marrying Baltics. They were key allies." And I didn't have the heart to let him know that the only reason they were allies is because it was either become an ally or get destroyed.
which ones are we talking about? Because they treated the Russians different to how they treated the Poles.
Well, I'm talking about Baltics anyway, so.
Oh, the Baltics, yeah, as well, yeah. See, I got mistaken that time. And
I feel
actually
like
also, yeah.
I feel like in another life you'd have been great in the SS.
I probably
Cero.
Because you're always hunting down those Slavs.
I have been invading Poland for like the last decade. So,
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. Carry on.
Have you been splitting Poland in half with a Russian friend, or?
Not with a Russian friend.
Oh God, still with any friend that's dodgy. But
we're not that kind of relationship.
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm sure most people know about this news, given that it's literally my most popular video of like 2 months so far. But Homeland effectively imploded. I keep seeing people coping and saying no, they're still going strong. I don't see how they're still going strong. Steve Law's left. Zuma Historian got kicked out. That's kind of the only two reasons people joined.
They didn't have that many people to begin with, so
they had 1,000 members.
That's a big chunk.
They had 1,000 members. It's really funny. If I was petty enough, I would do this. But there were loads when they made 1,000 members. I kept calling them small, and people were like, "Oh, you'll keep calling them small when we make it to 50,000 members." And I really want to find those tweets and kind of like retweet it, saying, "How's that going for you?" Have you made it to 5,000 members yet? Oh no, you're probably under 1,000 now again. Because nobody's happy about this. Homeland are basically a bit of a meme at the moment. Pete North's probably going to be on suicide watch. It's ultimate. It's once again an ultimate Farage victory, and he didn't even have to do anything this time. He didn't even know they existed.
Do you think Rubber's going to reach out to Pete?
I don't know,
Pete. Join me.
It is quite funny seeing Pete North now having to tell people that because they're a professional party, they have to temper their messaging, as if that wasn't Minor John's point to absolutely everyone about reform.
Yeah.
Zuma Historian is a straight-up Nazi apologist. Yeah, well, that's probably... I think he got kicked out because I should start from the beginning, really. So, there was this guy, young 20-year-old, who was seen at some Belfast march about immigration, and he had this big sign saying "Femboys for low," something like that. Big old cross through reform, and he's like, "I'm Homeland," and obviously he got famous off this, or internet famous anyway, thanks to some Irish accounts. And obviously Kenny Smith, leader of Homeland, saw this kid and was like, "Right, you can be Northern Ireland regional organizer." So he's organising a branch for like 3 people, something like that. Literally instantly, I'm talking within an hour, there was a whole bunch of like Discord screenshots of his Grindr account where he'd go for gay men to insert themselves into him effectively.
Gay black men.
Specifically a type of... Yeah, I was going to say...
Did I not say black? I meant... the black part's very important, given that he is now, a Homelander. And it's like, how can you trust someone to get rid of the black men if he wants them?
He's take them all into his house.
Well, maybe, but it's just nobody liked this. This is literally the Fallout 4 meme of everyone disliked that, and it was the most obvious blunder in the world. And Kenny Smith doubled down on it and called his own party members bad actors because they didn't want someone who was addicted to black cock as their spokesperson in Northern Ireland. So because he did that...
You do you, right? But it's kind of a little bit off brand.
Yeah, so after that, Steve Law says he's left. There were rumours that Zuma Historian had been kicked out. I imagine because Zuma Historian would be very against having this type of person within the party, let alone leading it anywhere. Steve Law's left because he didn't get his own way, and it sounds like he hadn't got his own way for a while, because obviously he wants to go kind of harder and faster with the rhetoric, and everyone else is like, no, we're a professional party, and it turns out people aren't racist. I know, crazy. And so that's why Steve Law's left.
Hey, speak for yourself. I hold on to my my racism.
Well,
Yeah.
very
quite.
important.
Well,
It wasn't that was the problem. It was the gay femboy that was the problem.
oh yeah, but like that was kind of a straw that broke the camel's back. Well, it was a pretty big straw for Steve Laws because stuff's come out. There's
Big
been public.
12-inch straw.
That is a pretty big straw.
Broke back femboy.
But
Carry on.
Steve Laws, like, there's been public spats with Steve Laws and other people about how Steve Laws wanted to go harder on rhetoric and things like that. With remigration. So he also had other issues within the party. Pete North has come out, basically, he's come out like me when I talk about reform. It's really funny, except I'm putting this effort into reform when they have 200,000 members and are winning elections. Pete North's doing it when it's 1,000 members and they're barely putting up candidates. They've got 3 candidates for the councils? 2 of them are in Kent. Do you reckon they're still standing now, actually? I wouldn't be shocked if they pull out.
There was one of those guys was near me. Proper like
Did he look
Jesus hates all the gays sort of thing.
Right.
His Twitter was just like Jesus slot posting. I don't think he'd be happy with the gay femboy.
Well, that's another thing that Homeland did this week that was quite a blunder. They made a really secular Easter message with like bunnies and eggs, but no cross or anything like that. And even Zaya Yusuf, the Muslim chairman. Yeah, exactly. Well, or he's just genuinely thankful he's in a Christian country.
No.
But yeah, even he managed to make his Easter messages Christian. It's just nuts that this has happened. And so go on.
Yeah, like I said, like this guy, this Homeland guy near me, like it's all just Jesus posting on his Twitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got. It's not like they're all secular, but for some reason, yeah.
Well, it's quite funny because their main spokespeople are, if not secular, pagan. Because Zuma Historian's not a Christian. Steve Laws actively says England has nothing to do with Christianity, which is crazy. Yeah, so anyway, I don't want to dwell on Homeland too much, but I have been really enjoying my Easter, gloating at them for falling apart, as I always predicted they would, because these groups always fall apart, because they're basically full of psychopathic weirdos. Well, and they don't get on.
It's always something
Hashtag
gay
not
as
all
well.
Femboys. Hashtag not all femboys. But yeah, it is the case. I mean, obviously, my mind goes back to I think it was around the time that even the Tories were going on about. I think they were doing the rounds, and they have like drag performers and stuff for like the Tories and stuff, and it does seem to be this entire subculture. Yeah, I mean, what it was.
You expect that from the Tories, but like, why is all these sort of supposedly like neo-Nazi virgin people? They're always gay, like Nick Fuentes.
I was gonna say we mentioned just before chat. Nick Fuentes,
well,
the Cat Boys.
Well, I've said to a few people, it's just my working theory that these gay, trans, femboy people, basically, long story short, they're just weird, and so they're going to go toward weird groups. Being a neo-Nazi is weird. Being a trans radical activist is weird. You don't get on with normal people, and so it kind of becomes a clique, and that's what happened with Homeland. Like, you could tell Homeland was a clique. They're all just repeating nonsense and sharing the same memes. They didn't believe anything, as far as I cared. It
kind of is the embodiment of the echo chamber, right?
Yeah, well, that's what they were. And then it was so funny. I pointed out a few times, but do you remember that interview that Kenny Smith did? And he ended up saying, "If you marry a Brit, you are British." And I just kept reposting that, saying, "Oh, Homeland have come around to the Tharium position."
Didn't he say? I think he's actually said, "We won't kick you out." I think he said, "You're not British, but we won't kick you out."
That was a post, but then there was an interview he did with Mark Heath, I think it was, where he was like, where he made the Tharium position of if you marry a native, you're considered part of the tribe.
I mean, Kenny is a Fed.
Kenny is a Fed, that's true, but it was very funny that Steve Laws had to come out and like clarify, "Oh, it just means white Europeans, he totally just means white Europeans." And then Kenny's like,
Why?
yeah, people know this. So
Okay,
funny.
like why would that make a difference? Like if you marry a white French person, that
yeah,
counts.
they're
No, it
Brits
doesn't.
now. They're Brits now.
No, it doesn't.
They're Brits. It's like, yeah. This is what I mean. I just don't believe they actually believed anything concrete. They just want to be edgy, and I'm always going to believe that because I've talked to these people for 8 years now. and every time this happens, like they get a bit big, they get big for their boots, and then they either get completely raided by Hope Not Hate and the Rozzers, and Sam Mellier gets put in prison and they break apart, or they have gay people that ruin everything. They're the only two options.
I think that is the thing, though. Any sort of serious people who aren't absolute lolcows or gay, probably or feds, just get arrested before they can get anywhere.
Well, that's what happens to Sam Mellier, isn't it? Yeah.
Like I mean, he wasn't.
He was
he's
done
not what I call
harsh.
serious. And he's not what I call serious, but I'm sure because they are monitoring all this stuff, and I'm sure any sort of actually sort of serious people who started rising would just get arrested.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want to hear more about the implosion of Homeland, you can always go to my channel, and I think I called it ethno-nationalism's a dead end, the implosion of Homeland. So every time ethno-nationalism gets somewhere, it screws up. Without fail.
Yeah, because they're just all lolcows.
Yeah.
What's the real dead end? The real dead end isn't that. The real dead end is being a gay femboy.
Well, they certainly get their ends away. That's what I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah. Though.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know how.
Sorry, no, sorry. Someone in chat's just said, my personal theory is the gay femboy is a reform plan. No, he was at Pride marches for 4 years. It's much more likely.
Steve Law's friend.
No, they were having like public Twitter conversations. I don't think they were ever friends. No, it's much more likely the gay femboy was a Hope Not Hate plan. I'm not having it as a reform plan. That's just absurd. That is alter code.
I think that Harren's perspective that it's just likely that you're going to find people who are generally more sort of socially non-conforming are going to gravitate towards the socially non-conforming places, because conservatism to some extent is actually non-conforming. Sorry,
I'm not being funny, but think about all the trans and gay people that are in the, dork right. John D, Evelyn, or Duncan, whatever, plus the third person in that relationship, plus a few others. A lot of them actually came from pretty far left as well. By the way, there's a bit of a horseshoe going on because effectively the bottom of the horseshoe, say, which is where the normal people are. We're more on the right of it. Tharium might be going up to the door a bit, but we accept him because we love him. But to be fair, I can't imagine you ever going left wing like some of these people, so maybe you're not quite up there.
No.
But either way, like those at the top of the horseshoe are just going to switch sides all the time, like on a dime. Sometimes I've literally seen it happen before, and a lot of them when you see these people go from like, oh, did I just go from the alt-right pipeline to the left wing one? Did I just choose another lie? It's always like, yeah. Your underlying opinions are still the same. It's just you flipped the oppressor-oppressed narrative on like a dime, and you don't seem to have realised that. So, anyway,
and like for a lot of the sort of ordinary followers, like they do get so pissed off with this. Like AA's crowd is like, why are there so many gays and trannies like in this sort of community who sort of seem to be at the head of it, and they sort of often complaining in like his chat and stuff about that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, God. EC90 for £20. My last super chat ever to let you know I was laid off today. Will have no job after 10 years. Positive feedback and success as software engineer. Local gym had to close down because it was unaffordable to run. Bless. It's blackpilling, don't get me wrong, but I expect to see you send me another super chat in a few months because you've got another job as a software developer. Software engineering is a decent area. We're in tough times at the moment because of the idiots we have in charge, obviously. But, software engineering, you can work from home with it. There seems to be plenty of opportunities. I still get headhunted as well in it. If you've got 10 years experience, even if you have to take a bit of a pay cut, as I say, you'll find something else. So don't be too worried about it. And with your local gym having to close down again, it sucks. You can still get your exercise in nature, basically. You can still do your runs. So
I will say that nature is not like the gym. The gym is
Oh no!
if you're a gym,
Nature is much better.
No, I miss my local gym. The gym closest to me was actually part of a hotel that got shut down to be used for migrants. So I'm also very salty.
Doubly, this is how you radicalize Cero.
Honestly, there's been nothing more radicalizing than our current government for me. But yeah, seriously, I would say also just look in if it was sudden, also look into contracting. You can make an awful lot of money in the short term, and that should keep you on your feet for a while. And yeah, if you ever want to chat, just hit us up on Discord. I'm in.
Yeah, we're all in the Worcester Club.
Yeah, I'm in sort of cloud engineering, not quite software engineering, but I do have a background in that as well. So if you ever want to chat, honestly, just hit us up on Discord.
I like how I'm being told that I'm toxically positive. Like I've just been told it's his last super chat. Like I'm panicking here. You'll be fine, man.
My pay piggies.
Also, don't do anything. Don't do anything silly.
Yeah.
I also now, like, if you've had ideas for like your own apps and stuff, that'd be a good time to try them. Or if you know someone else who has ideas, you might be the next Twitter or something.
Yeah, you never know. Chaos is a ladder. Anyway, that's gay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we should get back to the news, really. International news: Pope died. JD Vance killed him. Rip.
Yay.
I wasn't the Pope's biggest fan, obviously. He did pull the church out of a pretty dire situation with the whole paedophilia thing. As far as I'm aware, there's been no paedophilia since. So.
Or is he just better at covering it up?
Well, maybe. Either way, I will say he's got the church in a place where Gen Z are returning to the church. So well done that. But he was a bit woke. So hopefully, I'm hoping for Pizza Baller to be the next one. So,
why is it just his name?
Yeah, it's just his name. Yeah, I have no idea on any of these people.
It is a funny name. So I did a little research yesterday. Pizza Baller seems to be a massive Gaza simp, and he told on 2023 on Christmas, he told Christians not to celebrate Christmas in solidarity with all the Palestinians who've been affected by the invasion.
Okay, yeah, I don't want him anymore.
While wearing one of those stupid tea towels that they all wear.
This is why you never choose a pope based off the name alone. This is not the Grand National.
Picking anything based on a silly name, I think, is perfectly acceptable.
I thought you were a Catholic. Isn't that heresy? You're allowed to say that I don't think the Pope's made the best decisions he can. Like, I'm not going to hell for that.
I think you are.
I think that just the general, especially if you come from an Anglican or basically a non-Catholic, and probably non-Orthodox view, the whole relationship with the church and the Pope is just a bit confusing.
Yeah,
it's just something that I just don't. I did go to a primary school that was Catholic, but other than that, the whole I guess hierarchy has always sort of been a little bit of a mystery to me.
I mean, Harrian's real heresy is being a Catholic, not for saying the Pope was bad.
I mean, that is also true, yes. Based.
Got me there. Anyway.
Hungarian Pope seems pretty based.
I need to look into these popes, these cardinals.
So the one, Erdo, I think his name is, that Tory Rebuttal's talking about, he says that allowing in refugees is the same as human trafficking.
Okay, pretty based.
Pretty based.
I mean, I'm listening.
Yeah. Doesn't like the gays. Although I think my favourite was that Robert Cero, where's he from? Guinea, I think. He seems very based.
Oh, is he the black one?
Yeah. He hates Muslims, hates gays, hates trans, and considered Francis a heretic.
Now, hang on. This isn't going to be like Kemi Badenoch, is it? Where it turns out he hates steak and doesn't work before the hour of 12 o'clock.
I mean, he's the Pope, so I'm okay if he is like that.
Oh, there you go. Right, let's get into British news then. Unless, was there any more international news? Tariffs are shit. I guess that's it, but we've been through that. Yeah, there we go.
Oblivion remake came out today.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
Did it come out today? I knew it was going to be announced today, but
surprise!
I'm definitely going to check it out. Hopefully they fix the leveling system on it.
They have.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, well, that was a great stream, guys. Have a fantastic evening. I'm.
Oof.
Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
No, I won't. I already got it.
You already got it.
Oh my god.
I have such fond memories of Oblivion.
You don't realize, Harry. I've been binging the Daggerfall Unity remake.
Yeah.
So Morrowind, I couldn't do Arena. I couldn't do Arena. But Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, I've played them all. I've even got Redguard, even though I struggled to sort of get that running.
Well, there you go.
So,
I remember getting Oblivion as a kid and
same.
trying to. I was playing it. It must have been like 10 FPS on the crappy family computer back then. It didn't matter. Worth it.
I've never played.
I've
only played Skyrim in the Elder Scrolls series, and everyone knows I hate it, so I'm not bothering with Oblivion.
Okay, not everyone can have good taste.
Yeah, you're right.
As I will always say, whenever we get onto a discussion with Skyrim, I'm basically always told, "Oh, it's supposed to be shit. What don't you get?"
What?
So
who said that?
Not shit.
I'm not going through the conversation again. We're going into the news.
This is news now.
late. Oh god, we've had the Skyrim conversation loads in the Discord. If you've missed it, it's your own fault.
Harrion likes it. He's just a troll.
I don't like it. I've only played 40 hours.
Has he modded it?
Why does everyone say this? It's so annoying. Oh, did he mod Skyrim? Did he make Skyrim a completely different experience?
You can give all the I was going to say, well, it's true actually. But, the game has had like 4 or 5 different facelifts just in the last like decade or so.
Oh, I'm aware. And yet, Super Mario 64 still the best platformer ever. Anyway, Labour to publish migrant crime league tables for the first time. Nationalities of those committing most crimes will be revealed after Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, overruled officials who said it would be too difficult. Thank you, Labour.
Thank you, Rupert Lowe.
Well, let's see if he's mentioned.
This was what he was always pushing for.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give Rupert credit for this.
I'm happy to give Robert Jemrick most of it. Migrant Crime League table should be published by government for the first time in plans due to be announced by ministers this week. Nationalities for those with the highest rates of crime will be revealed after Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, overruled officials who had advised that doing so would be too difficult.
I mean, that's nonsense because they've got all this. It's all already like in their system. Yeah. They know all this already. They just got to print it out.
It's not difficult to put all these statistics into an Excel, send it to some data nerd who then collates it, which is what they did, I would assume.
Well, I think they've already got everything they need. They know exactly what the numbers all are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cooper told officials that she wanted the figures to be published by the end of the year, despite pushback on whether it was possible to provide quality data, according to the Daily Telegraph, which first reported the development. Albanians, Romanians and Poles are expected to be among the worst offenders, the article said. Okay, well...
I'm listening.
This just takes me back to when my friend who voted Labour and his girlfriend's Green, he was like, oh, I really, what's she called? Not Yvette Cooper, the Indian one. Not Priti Patel. Suella Braverman. Oh, she's really... oh my god, my chat just crashed. She's really racist because when she went on about foreign criminals, she mentioned Albanians first. I was like, well, yeah, Albanians are some of the worst offenders. And he's like, well, yeah, maybe, but why didn't she mention others? It's like, because I guess she was just using the worst example. Like, what?
I think I heard once we have more Albanians in prison here than there are in Albania.
I think we've got 5% of the male Albanian population in Britain. It's something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
Something about the male Albanians. Suddenly I've lost interest.
Are they Slavic, or are they too dirty for you to try and get on? They're Baltic.
Oh no, Balkan.
It's a bit of a weird one.
Balkan,
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
it's Baltics, but it's not like Lithuanian Baltics, you know. No offense.
No, they're not Baltic. They're Balkan.
They're Balkan. They're southern.
Balkan,
They're south of the
sorry.
Slavs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. No, I'm getting my geography mixed up now, aren't I?
You are, yeah. It's okay, we all do it. A Labour source told the newspaper, not only are we deporting foreign criminals if they volunteer to be deported, at a rate we've not seen, at a rate never seen when Chris Phillip and Robert Jenrick were in charge of the Home Office, but we will also be publishing far more information about the cohorts of offenders than the Tories ever did. Get wrecked, Robert Jenrick. You're getting flanked by Labour. Flanked by Labour.
I mean, well, they're them saying like record levels. It's still really low record though.
It's still only a few thousand. Jenrick, the Shadow Justice Secretary, said the move was a breakthrough. In a post on X, he said, following over a year of pressure from campaigners, including my own attempt to change the law, it appears there's been a breakthrough. It's amazing, you can just do things as Labour. Jenrick added, the British public deserve the truth about migrant crime.
Hold on. You can just do things as the Tories too, but they chose not to.
I don't know how true that is.
Well, they did a lot of things, just nothing useful.
Yeah.
Why do we think she's doing it? Just a virtue signal. They won't change anything. There's just information.
Yeah, like it's the usual containment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being funny, but we kind of already knew all this.
Yeah, it's the same thing the Tories did. Remember, like every year it was, we'll get those numbers down. Don't you worry. Numbers go up.
Yeah. To be fair, deportation numbers are going up, but in line with what the Tories were doing anyway. Post
they're bringing more people in.
Also, yes, yeah. Jenrick said a load of cool stuff, yeah. The announcement is expected to be made on Tuesday when politicians return to Parliament after the Easter recess. It was reported that the data will focus on those who are awaiting deportation, some 20,000 people, were waiting to be deported at the end of last year. Why can't you just put them all on a load of helicopters, and not helicopters, that's not cost efficient, on a big plane?
I thought you were going for the Pinochet route.
Oh God, yeah, no, God, no. No.
Was it helicopter tours?
Yeah.
I mean, it's helicopter tours.
God, no. Just send them back. Just back to where they came from. You know, don't mean the Atlantic.
The sea. The sea will take care of them.
Back to where you came from, boat people.
If Hope Not Hate are listening, we disavow.
Yeah, I disavow.
Yeah.
A Home Office source said, any foreign national who abuses our country's hospitality and commits serious crime should be no doubt that they will face the full force of the law and be removed from the UK at the earliest opportunity. But we also want to ensure the public is kept better informed about the number of foreign criminals awaiting deportation, where they are from, and the crimes they've committed. That is why, for the first time, ministers have tasked officials specifically with producing a greater range of data, blah blah blah. So we're going to get league tables, and Albania's going to be the worst. Who's shocked?
Yeah. I suspect there'll be a fair bit of scrubbing going on in this time. Because this is not like they're going to take months to release this when they've already got all the information.
I mean, that's the other thing. It's
why so long? Why are you taking so long?
There's a difference between we're announcing that we're going to be putting out the data and then they don't actually do anything for months and then announce something. They did this with the inquiries, didn't they? They said we're going to have 5 regional inquiries. Months go on. The Casey's like not heard a damn thing, and then they announce, oh, we're not doing that. Basically, it's optional, and the money going to audit can be used on other things. It's like, oh, great. I mean, to be honest, I'm on the Maggie Oliver train of inquiries are pretty pointless at this point because we've had loads of them before and nothing ever happens. You know, wouldn't you look at the time? So, you know, as much as, you know, I understand why Rupert Lowe says raising money to do a national inquiry that can't do much. I think
when you're not in power, there's some value in like putting pressure on this. But when you are Labour, then not doing it, then it's just you're just trying to hide.
Well, the pressure from like Maggie Oliver is going down the judicial route of having judicial reviews and things like that, because that seems, one, more cost effective, and two, just way more direct. I mean, you've got to bear in mind, you know, the 7-year CSA child sexual assault or abuse inquiry. It took 7 years and cost something like 400 million. it was in the hundreds of millions how much that cost. So again, I get what Rupert Lowe's trying.
How did they spend?
Because they have to hire because they have to hire KCs. They have to hire a load of KCs, and they cost hundreds an hour. It's loads. So bear in mind,
is that how much Concorde cost?
Probably.
Yeah.
Still got that number.
Sarah, yeah. Unironically, we could have had like 10 Concords if we didn't have like child grooming gangs everywhere.
Well,
I think
I was about to make a joke
gang.
about which one was more disastrous, but you know what? I'm not going to do that because.
Wonder how much the Challenger cost.
I can't joke about like actual, when it comes to actual kids, it is actually just you have to laugh about it, right? Because otherwise
we go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like for the government to do inquiries into any of this, I think it's just pointless. We all know
especially
who the problem is.
Especially as
what the problem is.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're actually in power, like, what are you doing? You know what the problem is. Do something.
I'm not being funny, but the only major party that would do anything actionable, either with inquiries or what we know already, is Reform. So don't go.
I don't know about that.
Homeland. What do you mean you don't know about? Oh, just fucking eternal losers, can't be asked. The UK economy to slow as.
The problem is, sorry to interrupt, but the problem is that like, as much as I don't want the right, like the people to my right, there are not that many of them, but people to my right, when they criticize and they say that there does seem to be an awful lot of sort of containment adjacent stuff going on with reform. It is something that we should absolutely take seriously. I don't think it's necessarily likely, but it is something it's something that's very, very concerning.
Yeah.
And I think that we would be stupid to ignore it.
Yep. Like Nigel, remember his position on the we were going to do a rape gang inquiry. And he said, it doesn't matter that it doesn't have any sort of power. The point is that it's about putting on pressure.
Yeah, that he realised it had cost millions.
Then
he decided not to, because it turns out it cost millions for absolutely no result.
You wouldn't have to do a big one. It's just something like you
what's
can
the
still
point?
raise some money. Because you just get some.
I don't
get some attention. You keep on the pressure and the attention.
But you can do that with a judicial review for much less money, and that can be actionable. That was the point.
Well, he's not doing that either, though.
Yeah, he is. He did an announcement saying Casey's come forward and we'll get a plan together. What do you mean?
I think in this case, though, multiple things can be true at once, right? Like, I think that he could have approached it genuinely wanting to do something. He could have also then seen how much it was going to cost and how much problems he was going to have, how much resistance he was going to have. But then at the same time, I think he's also potentially got people whispering in his ear, saying, "Oh, maybe it's a bit too much. Maybe it's a bit too much effort. Oh, maybe we'll put it off until later." And those things don't even necessarily have to be malicious. They don't have to be like a full-on Green or Worm thing, but they can still cause damage. And I think it's just something just to bear in mind.
I really don't care if reformer containment. Oh well, may as well end it all. There's nothing we can do. It's over. That's why I don't care. So what can I do about it? Nothing. So if it is containment, oh well, I'll find out in years. I just don't care. There's more important things to talk about than maybe reform aren't perfect. Yeah, no duh.
No, it's fine, and I actually do agree with you to some extent. All of my eggs are in the reform basket. I don't have a backup plan. Maybe try and emigrate to Poland or something. I don't know.
My current thinking is,
aren't you lucky you can do that?
Oh, I can't. That's the thing. I would have to, but I actually probably would find it easier to move to America than Poland. Hilariously.
Amazing.
But no, it's like we don't really have a backup plan, and I think that's partly why I'm a bit on edge about it.
I mean, my hoping is that enough good people can slip through the Zai's containment net, and we can then start shifting reform in the right way.
I love how it's Zaya that's being blamed as the containment net when he's been one of the more based people.
For me, it's the hope not hate stuff. I think that was the thing.
that
bugged me the most. It was the fact that it was like, we might say that it was actually valid, all the stuff going on with Dan and Bo and stuff, but it was just the fact that why are you listening to Hope Not Hate? They are literally the enemy. You know what I mean?
Everyone blames Hope Not Hate for that. Like, Hope Not Hate were just one of many outlets reporting it, and everyone just jumped on. Oh, why you listen to Hope Not Hate? It's like it was in the record. It was on the date. It was in a load of Scottish papers because what Bo said was completely fucking stupid. Like,
It was a little bit funny.
yeah, fine. But as we've gone through, it's not gonna be like Hope Not Hate get the focus here because it's like saying, oh, they listen to Hope Not Hate. Can you believe that? And then it gets you worried. It's like it was reported everywhere. Like Hope Not Hate get the focus because they're the bad ones, but it was all over the mainstream. Like they weren't avoiding it. It was in the I saw it in the Spectator.
I can definitely agree that I'm probably just paranoid.
Yeah,
but
you're not.
But it's something I think that we should bear in mind, and because especially like for example with Harren, you're gonna have potentially at some point more of a voice directly.
Yeah.
And it's important that we have voices that are aware of like these kinds of concerns and these kinds of possibilities and attack vectors from people who are nefarious.
Well, there's a if I ever just disappear off the internet, you'll know why, and then expect me on start looking out on Question Time or something.
I know that voice.
So why is he touching his nipples during this
Good God, I know that.
This
house building. Discord joke.
It's house building conference.
I know that soy Jack.
Yeah, I know. I recognize that. Don't worry.
You're not.
I didn't know you.
Yeah.
You're not wrong though. So like, I mean, the recent stuff coming out with them allowing in Bangladeshi nationalists and people who want Britain to pay slavery reparations. Why are these people in reform?
Right, let me put out this fire.
Come on, that's bad. That is bad.
Yeah,
that's very bad.
Yeah, I see it as more of a like because where are they? One's in Enfield, like that's these are London boroughs.
That's
where
the thing.
there
Yeah, reform
many
seem
natives.
to be going. Yeah, that's the thing. Reform seem to be going. I know. Let's capture the Labour and the foreign vote. I don't want you doing that. Why are you doing that?
Well, then they can't get 650 seats, can they? Like at the end of the day, they're trying to get into Parliament. That's the main. That's the main goal here. Like to decimate the two-party system. I'm afraid part of that is trying to win seats that you'd never get by being purely nativist. It won't happen.
Yeah. Ignore those seats.
What you can't ignore those seats. They're trying to get as many seats as possible.
Yeah, but the native vote is still.
The native vote is not going to stop voting reform because of two people in like Enfield and Tottenham or whatever. Like it's not going to happen.
No.
Before I derail to the point of starting to bring up World War One, don't worry, I won't do that. But I think that reference. The one thing that I will say is that the worst of both worlds is kind of the thing that I'm more concerned about, where they sort of try and not yield. What's the word? They try and basically get
appease.
They appease. Yeah, sorry. They try and appease that audience. They don't get it, and then they also fail. That's like the worst case in my mind. And that's the thing that I really am worried about.
I don't think they're expecting to win these seats. I think more what they're trying to do is effectively split the Labour vote. Because I think they'd rather have one of those Guards and Independents in these seats than Labour. Like, I think you can understand why. Well, what? I'm not being funny, Tharium, but what do the Independents actually do?
Well, nothing yet. But that's the point. I mean, another Labour backbencher. That's no different.
Listen. The SNP only manages to do things in Scotland because they're the majority of the Scottish Parliament, but they can't do anything on the British level because they don't have what I'm saying is, even if you end up with 70 Guards and Independents, they can't do anything. So you may as well give them more power and destroy Labour. That I imagine is more.
That just feels so dirty and wrong to me.
It's politics, man.
I'm going to give you a tentative disagree, and I have a very long anecdote. Well, it's not a very long anecdote, but I have an anecdote about it. But I won't say it here because I've already derailed enough. But yeah, I have an anecdote about why I find that worrying as well.
Well, sorry. Well, not necessarily independent Gazans then. Fine, Greens, whatever. Like, I don't know who's second him. To be fair, it probably. Well, it is like.
No, sorry,
listen,
carry on.
listen. You want the left fragmented, and this is the way to do it. And I don't even know who's going to necessarily win these seats, but it won't be Reform, and it won't be Tory, not in London. Like, what do you want to do with these places? They're kind of already lost.
Yeah. Don't focus your energy on them.
They're not focusing energy on it. It was one Guardian article. Like, what do you mean focus energy?
The Guardian should not be speaking highly of.
Where I don't think it was.
Wow.
Where have the Reform team been for the past months? Like, they've not been to London. They've been to Hertford. They've been to these left behind places. That's where they're focusing. Don't say they're focusing on London. They don't go there apart from to go to Westminster because that's where their job is. Like, they're not focusing on it. It was one Guardian article, and yeah, you AFK for a sec. Yeah.
Did you see that post I put in politics and finances?
Yeah, with the fans
What is that?
not even managing it. Man, they've got some.
What is that? Why is this Reform? Christ.
That's it. That is that again. I will actually say here. While that guy was handing out his Reform leaflets, he did get attacked by radical Muslims and called a traitor. Now, I don't know about you, but if we're going to have, people like this on, I would like them being called traitors by radical Muslims, as it probably makes him not a radical Muslim, You can call that cope and seethe, and that's probably fairly accurate. But at the end of the day, I don't care that lost London seats have like people representing those areas there. Like, I kind of expect that from a party that's trying to win as many seats as possible. Like, at the end of the day, where are they focused? They're focused at Scunthorpe. They're focused in, they were in Gloucestershire today, I think, or Hertford might have been. They're not focused on London. Don't worry about it.
I mean, it's like, but for me, like, I'd never pass like their vetting, but like these people do. That is quite disheartening for me.
Well, someone who was in the Bangladeshi Nationalist Party at the age of 9, who's now 50 odd, and hasn't been part of the Bangladeshi National Party for 40 years.
No, and like proper foreigners and stuff. Like,
well, I mean, I'm not being funny, but again, they're not against foreigners being here. Full stop.
No, but they shouldn't be running our government.
No, not running the government. Being an MP is different from being in the government. They're not going to get picked as like foreign secretary or anything like that.
Well, Nigel wants Zaya as prime minister.
Why do you keep saying this? There's no evidence for that.
He said he does.
Who? When?
He said.
When did he say? When did he say that? Go on. This will be good.
He imagined Zaya taking over after him.
I don't think. When did he say that? I've watched everything. I've only ever heard him say it in the abstract of, it's me for now. Younger. I want someone younger. It's like, Zaya's younger. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean he'll be the one to be a politician. We don't even know if Zaya's running to be an MP yet.
Zaya has said that he's open to it in the future.
Oh, then maybe he will, but you never know, he might be very good too. But I'm not taking what's it called? Farage saying I want someone younger than I want basically an heir to me to take over. I'm not taking that to mean Zaya's my heir. They've only known each other like a year. It's way too early to say that's going to be the case. I think it's much more likely to be Richard Tice, but nobody likes him, so probably not. Could have been Bruce Cutler if he wasn't an idiot. He's older.
Been a lot outside of leadership.
Yeah. Oh no, Tice is good. Being fair to him, he got the party to like 14%. Like, credit where it's due.
Yeah.
But he's he's not as charismatic. I'll give you that. Anyway, I'm fed up of talking about reform. This was not a Tosh Talks. This was the news.
Yeah, sorry about the derailing there.
Right.
Also, I wanted to say as a quick recommendation to people, don't put Naga ghost pepper in your eye. It's very uncomfortable.
Is that what you did? Is that what you
No,
did?
I was eating it with my food, and apparently you need to wash your hands before and after your food.
Oh, yeah.
I rubbed my eye, and then I realized, I'd screwed up. I screwed up. I was like, something went horribly wrong. That's why I scarpered.
Just unbelievable
Yeah.
scenes.
No risk of that with me because just regular pepper is getting a bit too spicy for me.
You're the
No,
whitest man
Carolina
alive.
Reaper for me is too hot, but Naga Ghost Pepper is lovely. Just preferably
You know,
in my
you,
mouth,
you,
but
you
not
know,
in my eye.
you know when you said you wouldn't derail.
Well, so that's a really interesting thing about World War One.
Right. So
And,
the UK economy to slow as tariff take toll.
Slow even further. Nice.
Well, I know. So I think our estimated
cause a
growth.
singularity soon.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. So yeah, it's dropped to 1.1% this year from a 1.6% earlier in the year. I hope EC90 isn't still listening. This isn't going to help him. And then it will rise by 1.4% next year, down from 1.5%. So yeah, like worldwide tariffs have just kind of screwed. Like Germany's back at 0%.
Can I just say,
Yeah,
get fucked, Europe.
and Japan apparently. Canada's not done too badly out of it, but I'm not being funny. The US should be on a growth rate of way more than 2%.
I mean, I don't know. It's tricky because when you're that big, like getting big growth numbers is
no, like 6% over the 80s.
I know, but well, I mean, we were like, we were that big as well. We were like the same back then.
Oh yeah, we were growing really quick. Yeah, thanks Thatcher. Yeah. Everyone hates her for some reason. So yeah, I am quick firing these now though. So Starmer no longer believes trans women are women because the Supreme Court told him to.
I was going to say, do you want to know what the deep secret to this one is?
He's trans.
He never believed. I was going to say he never believed it.
Well, he probably
did most other people.
I just don't think he just never cared. His opinion blew with the wind on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because none of them ever actually believed it. It was something that was useful.
I've been plenty of times over the past recent years. I was speaking to just normies, and I'll just say something. Well, no one actually believes this about the trans stuff, and you can see it on them. The spell is suddenly broken for them.
Yeah,
and
like,
they feel like
talk about it.
Yeah, like just when they feel like they're safe like that, it's like, yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. There's no one sensible who believes this. You know, did Gary Lineker ever believe it? Probably not. But no, people just
didn't.
He'd say anything for $2 million a year.
There are some true believers. Like I do. Run into them, but they're generally not the ones. They're not the ones making decisions.
They look like they should be in an asylum. That lot.
I mean,
that lot.
The thing is, it makes, again, not to derail, but it's the ones I really feel for was the people who are sort of they have slight sort of trait neuropathy where they don't want to be seen to be the one doing a bad thing. They don't want to make a social faux pas, but they also genuinely want to feel like they're doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. And so if every voice around them is saying, oh, you need to do this, otherwise they don't care, it's just emotional hijacking.
That's what, like, everything since Tony Blair has been based entirely on that.
Yep.
Don't do this or you're a bad person. If you oppose us, you're a bad person. And that works very well.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway,
do you think
trans issue.
Homeland? Do you think Homeland will now be pro-trans? now that anti-trans has become the establishment position.
Oh, but well, they've already got the graphic ready, don't they? With their where's it gone? Yeah,
we
with
had
that.
boys in our party before it was cool.
Just unbelievable.
I miss the good old days when we could just have tomboys, and I don't know. We didn't really have femboys back in the day, but I remember the
that was just
maybe you did. Yeah, you did. They were called Batty Boys. What do you mean?
Well, actually, yeah, that's fair. But I miss the good old days of the tomboy. That was a good time. That was a good time.
I do agree. I do agree. I miss the tomboy too. MPs and peers try to block liar Trump from Parliament address. Great.
Harder.
Liar.
Yeah. I don't really think there's much to go through. Who's involved here? Some parliamentarians don't want it.
Doesn't want it.
Oh, he was not acting in good faith toward Britain due to the tariffs levied by the US. I'm sorry. He gave us like the least punishing ones. I wouldn't say that.
Just the same we had of just a blanket 10%, which is the same thing we did on them, I think. And it's only on goods, not services. And we are basically entirely services.
Yeah, we have like no exports.
So yeah, like our our thing with his tariffs was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the tariffs were effectively just to target China.
Yeah.
Like,
it was badly thought out. But yeah.
Are we still going with this cope? I think he's just an idiot.
No. I completely believe this, like 100%. The target was always China.
Yeah.
But Tharium is right. How he went about it, it was definitely messy.
I'm gonna tariff Madagascar and vanilla at 68% because I can.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I genuinely believe that if you look into it, it was probably targeting a lot of China's various other exports. So, but anyway, let's carry on. I don't have the evidence,
he's always banging on about China, has been for years, and it would have been more effective if he'd just gone, yeah, fuck you, China, rather than trying to drag everyone else into it. Then
from what I understand, well, you say that again. I'll try and be brief, but the worst case scenario would have been you go for China and then everyone else says, oh no, we will continue trading with China, and then China doesn't get, they lose the US, but they don't lose the rest of the world. Whereas in this case, now the rest of the world, no, fair enough. Vicar Steed actually said he fucked up here. I mean, yeah, I can understand that, and I think that it definitely could have gone better, but I do think that there was, I guess my point is not necessarily saying that he did a good job. I'm saying that there was thought and an actual plan behind it. There was effectively cut off China.
I don't know.
I just outright reject that. I don't think there was any.
I will huff my copium and carry on.
I think AA actually figured out it was just some really sort of bad sort of algorithm that he'd come up with for everything.
It wasn't AA who worked out. That was mainstream news. I heard that on the BBC. This was like the White House admitted it was something like the difference between. I think it worked out the amount of exports or whatever, multiplied by
it's just weird
VAT divided by 2. It was a ridiculous equation.
But what I'm saying is that I wonder if they basically just took that number and then used it as the casus belli to just do what they were planning to do anyway.
I think you are giving them too much credit.
Okay, maybe I should stop playing my to be fair, I haven't played Crusader Kings in a while.
All past the plan. Yeah, I don't know. After the deal. Was it?
The deal.
I am going to fire casus belli for border disputes against every country on the map in CK3. And I'll see how that goes. Oh, see, some of them gave me white peace. It's Madagascar. Anyway, British Steel's Scunthorpe plant could run on electricity for £2 billion. Excuse me.
A year?
I think so.
A year?
The blast furnaces at British Steel's plant in Scunthorpe can be replaced with more financially viable and cleaner electric arc furnaces provided by taxpayers or investments prepared to stump up about £2 billion. So it's to change it from making virgin steel to recycling steel, which...
And green.
Wait. Yeah, I mean, we already have arc, what are they called, arc furnaces that recycle steel. Making virgin steel, not a bad idea. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, why is it that we have to do that when everyone else can just have regular blast furnaces?
China bought it up and they shut it down. Yeah. Which was their plan since Mao. They wanted to destroy British steel.
Yep.
Now they've done.
Oh God, it's just horrendous, isn't it? That is the estimate. Go on.
So this is their plan. We'll just turn it into a green recycling plant instead.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I mean, it
pretty
literally
much.
is just the most amazing psyop if you think about it. Like they literally convince us to shut down our industry
Well,
because because of the neurotic sort of. Don't worry, I'm going to start ranting. Carry on, carry on.
I mean, it's just like it's crazy that you'd even consider doing this after Trump's in the office and the entire liberal kind of world order that we had for the past 20 years. It's all kind of gone overnight, and yet people don't seem to have had the memo. Like I don't see the Democrats making a case for how about we have it the way it was, even after all this. Because as far as I'm aware, like because America's the way it is, they're still largely pro-Trump from what I gather, even though people don't like
it's
the
not as
tariffs.
fervent as it was, but yeah.
Oh, the tariffs have done damage, no doubt, but I don't see the Democrats coming up with anyone to beat Trump.
That does help. That they are so defending
whoever.
MS-13 all the time now. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Anyway,
I think that there was an inflection point around COVID where we kind of like beforehand the damage was slow, whereas at COVID the damage was sudden, and I think everyone started to notice.
Yeah,
It was like when the shipping containers suddenly stopped. I think that gave a lot of people pause for thought. You know, when we realized that actually we don't manufacture like a lot of our raw materials for building here, stuff like stud wood, you know, it's simple stuff, plywood. You know, when we're shipping in, I think we're probably even shipping in concrete. Like, are we also shipping in sand? You know what I mean? It's just like it starts getting silly.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but getting sand from a desert is probably a lot cheaper than getting it from our own beaches. So I'm not going to complain about that one.
Bill Gates, his house up in Washington State or something, up north in America, every year he gets tons of sand from the Bahamas shipped in for his own little like beach thing there.
There you go. I did not know that. So defence companies boast Trump-proof weapons are free of US parts. First question firms now face when trying to export their weapons is whether they rely on American technology. I mean, yeah, the tariffs internationally are way worse for the international market, but it's not been good for America. So
I think this is good though. I think like our defence stuff should be less reliant on America.
Well, yeah, I'm fine. Well,
Harry and BTFO'd by EC90. You can't use desert sand for concrete. It's true.
I didn't know you meant. I didn't know the sand was for concrete. I didn't even know you use sand in concrete. To be honest.
What?
I'm not.
You make mortar.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, so carry on.
What we need is that Roman concrete.
Yeah, that lasted
the stuff
years.
That lasts for just actual centuries.
For thousands of years. Yeah. What is this stuff?
Yeah. To be fair,
the Greeks make napalm better than us. The Romans make concrete better than us.
To be fair, why can't you use desert sand for concrete? Isn't it just the same stuff?
I remember, but
You're the geologist.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm confused. Well, that's what I mean. Like they're the same thing.
So
they're both just quartz.
I was going to say, I think that there's a certain grain of sand that's useful for mixing. I don't know the full details, but
Is it because it's too irony from the desert? You know, because it's red. I don't know.
Possibly.
It's because it's Muslim sand.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Is it halal sand?
Well, even if it's from Australia.
I would have to. Okay, river sand. Okay.
Why does it have to be river sand? I'm genuinely confused at that. I don't know why that would be the case.
River sand's a bit finer, isn't it?
It probably is the fine.
You could just grind it down, like.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, unless it is just the case of it's instantly there, so you don't have to grind it, so it's cheaper. Like, all right, fair enough. Some deserts do have rivers. That is true.
It's not a very good desert, though, is it?
It's still a desert if there's no light. Well, you have oases, don't you? Hang on, the Nile goes through deserts.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Well, but the area around the Nile. I don't think the area around the Nile is a desert, though, is it?
It depends where you are. The Nile's massive.
Yeah, huge.
The Nile goes through the Sahara.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does go through a desert. Shows what you know.
True.
Anyway,
BTFO'd.
Anyway, I'm really interested as to why you can only use river sand. Okay.
You can do a Tosh Talks on it.
Desert sand is generally unsuitable for construction because its grains are too smooth and rounded due to wind erosion. This lack sharp edges and rough. Again,
interesting. So it's actually that it's too like powdery.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, again,
because for example, when I've done it, I've always used like sharp sand to mix with the when I've mixed it. Basically, it's because what's ever available at B&Q. To be fair, but yeah, I never thought about it.
There you go.
This actually, I'm learning.
Every day's a school day.
Yeah.
Birmingham BIM strike. Reforms will spur pickets to block lorries. Oh.
It still upsets me greatly that they had to bring in the army.
Well, they're only talking about.
Yet?
They're only talking about.
Yeah.
Although they're talking about it, yeah, but it's like, you know that we need the army for other things, right?
Like what?
Yeah.
Like what? Tell me. What do we need the army for?
Well, if you ask, it depends on who you ask, but probably invading Russia at the rate that we're going.
Nah, well, they can. I'll tell you. Well, how different will that be from collecting bins in Birmingham? To be fair.
Like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Prettier women.
I think I think it's okay. Like the army's okay for national emergency type stuff, floods and stuff, and they're very good at that. But yeah, you don't want the government to just become reliant on them for every time people go and strike. Well, army will just send the army boys in.
There you go.
And no, before anyone asks in chat, I have actually never dated a Russian. Be friendly, but not dated.
But well, let's just quickly read this. So, striking bin workers will be emboldened to block lorries and cause rubbish to pile up on the streets under Angela Rayner's workers' rights overhaul. Ministers have been warned. Oh my God, her workers' rights bill has made the whole thing worse. Incredible. Unite the union behind the 7-week strike in Birmingham, which is led by 21,000 tonnes of waste being strewn across the city. I've said that similar walkouts could take place across the country. The Conservatives claim Labour's reforms to workers' rights and union powers will make it easier for future strikers to cause disruption. It's really funny. What's it called? Max Tempers over on Twitter, obviously. I think he's been reading books on the history of a union or something like that. But I think it was actually the diaries of some guy that some union guy this is from. But he's a Labour representative, like the party. He went to these people in, oh God, it was like the 90s or noughties or something like that. And he was basically asking them, why you're striking. It's like, well, we're not getting paid enough. It's like, oh, do they have this issue in the south? It's like, no, those Tory councillors have already outsourced all their waste collection. It's like, oh, that makes sense. It's like, oh, do you know what happened the last time there was a massive strike over pay? It's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, oh, you had 17 years of the Tories.
Yeah.
And I like it's really funny this time round because people aren't really going to necessarily go to the Tories this time round, are they? There's an alternative to the Tories on the right now, so it's going to be interesting to say the least. Can
we do like a recap at some point, maybe towards the end of the year? Just all the policies that Labour have brought in that have just bitten themselves in the arse.
Well, you know what? You can make that a Tosh Talks, and you know what?
That'll be a long stream.
Since you suggest it, you can do the research on it because I'm not doing it.
Okay, right. I'm going to outsource it. I'm going to find.
Who'd probably be happy to do that actually. Tory rebuttal.
Yes.
So,
well, ChatGPT will just be able to do it all for you then.
Yeah, this year in Blackpill, I guess we'll call it.
I mean, it'll be a comedy stream.
I mean, like the thing is, how many of the new Birmingham residents actually care about the bins, though?
I think a lot. I'm not being funny, but like, I don't think they're Indian. I'll put it that way.
Like, because it's like I mean, Sargon and stuff said, and like plenty of other places like that. That really nice village from the guy going the Thames. Like, okay, the bin men aren't working. These people who actually care they wouldn't let their places get like this. They just dump the stuff out.
Well, I'm not being funny, but winter of discontent. Like, you don't have that excuse for 1979. And the same thing happened.
Mm.
So I don't think it's that they're, to be honest, I think that was poor people that basically couldn't get them anywhere else. So what do you do with your rubbish? Well, you just dump it. You don't have a car in 79 necessarily. Which I suppose is a difference now, because obviously all these places have Motability cars, so they have no excuse. But so maybe that's a little bit of a difference. But I'm not. I think it's more laziness that ends it with situations like this, rather than anything necessarily to do with ethnicity. But there we go. Does that fit just about? Sorry, I really need to install Brave. I don't know what's wrong with me. Cause...
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I've actually been moving back to Firefox after evangelizing to you about Brave.
Really?
Yeah. There's actually some really nice features there that I'm.
Yeah,
long story.
Yeah, but it sucks.
We can do a Tosh Talks on it.
Sucks for streaming.
I believe it.
Apparently, you can get paid more as a bin man in Birmingham than a graduate engineer. Yeah, I'm not shocked at that. I'll be honest with you.
What are the engineers going to do here? They're not allowed to build anything.
Yeah, thanks, Tharium. Council's accused.
Well, me?
Yeah,
Tharium. I'm not stopping the engineers building robots.
Yeah, you are. Because they don't have roads for the. They can't build the robot factories.
Well, the robots should be off-road capable, so there you go.
So, council accused of discrimination for diversity rules. Town halls and unis have been accused of discriminating against white candidates with hiring practices designed to promote diversity in their workforce. Oh, they got me in the first half. Not gonna lie.
Really?
Councils are understood to have employed schemes to manipulate interview shortlists to ensure that they include black and minority ethnic candidates, while universities have used the race as a tiebreaker. Positive action.
I am shocked.
Well, positive action initiatives, legal under the 2010 Equality Act, with Westminster City Council implementing a version of the Rooney Rule, first used by the National Football League in the US, which requires at least one black, Asian, or minority ethnic candidate to be on the shortlist for any role.
Oh.
Yeah, so obviously they've discriminated against white people because of this, and thank God it appears that it might actually cause them to go to court. Well, let's hope anyway.
It's not happening. Why do you care? Oh, it is happening, and it's a good thing.
Well, I mean,
so which part are we at?
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's a good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So Birmingham City Council, said in 2020 it worked to introduce the Rooney Rule to address the current imbalance in gender and black, Asian, and minority ethnic representation, but the rule is no longer in place. A Liverpool NHS trust also had this rule to increase diversity up until 2023. So I've been banging the drum.
Diversity not needed after 2023.
Well,
they've just got a new rule.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I mean, people always say, I keep banging the drum that we're not past peak woke, and it's like, okay, we're seeing that.
No.
Oh yeah,
I think that we are and we aren't, right? Like
we're not.
Well, what I'm saying is that there's peak woke, but in different theaters, or different arenas.
Well, I'll put it this way: the trans thing, obviously, we're past peak woke for that. The race thing, I'm not convinced on.
No. I think you're right, and
gender, we're definitely not convinced on. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that maybe it's like an up and down the hill from, first it was gender, as in like male female feminism, then it was intersectionality, race stuff, then it went back to, the sexuality to trans. And it kind of feels like we've kind of gone down from the trans now, and we're back at like race, and then we're going to be back at sexuality. We're going to sort of backslide through them.
I mean, gender's still a huge one. I think people kind of forget about that.
Make it bigger than
Well, I think
all of the propaganda. It's in the mind.
Yeah,
literally a mind virus. It's incubated.
Well, I think what actually happened with gender was trans took over the whole thing. and now trans is over, gender's going to be back on the agenda. I almost guarantee it. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah.
I mean, it was the whole trans stuff. It was bought by a feminist turf group.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, you know, how has the trans stuff been put away? Oh, enforcing the Equality Act so that women are superior. Great.
Yeah.
and
of course, like, yeah, like we have sort of had that bit of a win, but it has made some of the tranny lot even crazier.
Yeah, but they're just not taken seriously anymore.
No,
not like they were. So anyway, UK charity bus hosted by Iranian military chief linked to terrorism.
What a surprise!
Oh God, all these Iranian names. Oh, Nima Parvini, a charity registered in the UK which says its objective is to help mankind by advancing the Muslim faith and women's rights. Flew from London to Tehran to host cultural programs. During the trip last year, they were filmed at a meeting with 2nd Brigadier General Majid Hashemi Dana,
you can do it.
A senior commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The general runs Defa Press, a state news agency overseen by Iran's armed forces, and invited the pair to visit the offices. So yeah.
What I'm hearing is Harry is saying that Islam was right about women.
Well, you know, is it?
I think he's saying. This is Reform's new counselor.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they haven't made him chairman. You know.
Go up that picture of them. Go down.
No, this one. Yeah, that should be Nigel Farage.
No.
Could you imagine?
The guy second to the right in that picture looks an awful lot like Nima Parvini.
Yeah, he actually does look like AA, but it can't be AA. He's too skinny.
Yeah.
And look, there is 4 wives. Anyway,
I can't imagine why people would want multiple wives.
Yeah.
Maybe when I was a kid, I used to think that the idea was cool, and then I grew up and then I had one wife, and I'm thinking, you know what, I'm good. I don't want another one. One is enough.
Trans rights protesters who deface statues should be prosecuted. Well, to be fair, yeah. Oh my God, they used the F slur.
Wait, which one?
The one you can't say on YouTube.
The English cigarettes.
Yeah.
My favourite.
Cigarette rights, there you go. Trans rights activists who vandalise statues in Westminster are simply criminals and should be prosecuted, the Shadow Home Secretary has said. 7 statues were defaced when thousands of people gathered in central London on Saturday to demonstrate against the Supreme Court ruling, blah, blah, blah.
But going back to our opening thing, there's probably more gay people on the right than the left.
Yeah. Wasn't a Nelson Mandela statue vandalised? That would explain it, wouldn't it?
Think about
Sure
it.
about that
a lot of our sort of cultural icons, like the guy from the New Culture Forum, I'm pretty sure he's gay. Like,
yeah, he is.
What was
Peter Thiel's gay.
Sorry, historian whose name escapes me.
David Starkey.
Douglas Murray. Douglas Murray. I'm just thinking,
they're everywhere, aren't they? Right?
Tory Rebuttal.
Tory Rebuttal. Yeah.
Academic Agent.
It's why I asked the other day who our favourite gay is to everyone, because they're just everywhere.
Who's your favourite gay? That would be God. God's probably gay as well because he's right wing.
Oh no, it's about
the new pope. The new pope agrees.
But yeah, I don't. I'm only seeing one statue really defaced here. I've not counted that as defacing it.
Yeah, putting a flag up. Yeah, I don't count.
Yeah. Churchill's not defaced. Not like he was in Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
No. Though you know that if I had my way with the statue of Marx, then I think that they would all be in tears. So
Well, true. Yeah.
Well, I think having people pay to see Marx's tomb is the best
wonderful.
Adventure.
It's very funny.
It's the same for no. The one that made me so happy is the Chairman Mao gift shop. It's like capitalism run. It just smells so good. It just tastes good. Just yeah, no, that's right. Pay for the the gift shop.
So statues of Nelson Mandela, Edward Stanley, Lord Palmerston, Benjamin Disraeli, and Robert Peel were defaced with pen, chalk, and spray paint. Yeah, one's done with spray paint. Yeah, Disraeli. One's done.
Why would they? What did he do?
They were just there.
He was Jewish.
They were literally. Yeah, he was Jewish. They were just
true.
there.
The left do have a thing about Jews. Yeah.
The statues were literally just there. That's why they did it.
I think we probably had some right-wing trannies at this as well. Get that Nelson Mandela bastard.
Let's get him. That one was. Yeah, Duncan did the Disraeli one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, spray paint and
used
pen.
To just be a meme.
It was never a meme. It was always true.
I mean,
yeah,
it felt like a meme at least at one point.
And
Who says that memes aren't true? To be fair,
they're all true. On the turf side of this, they went round some statues around the place, sticking their adult human female T-shirts on some statue. Which again, that's fine. It's just a T-shirt you can just take it off. No actual damage.
I've been to a protest. It was the Dankula protest, and tape was put on a statue in. I think we were in Leicester Square where we started it. And I wouldn't count that as defacing. I guess it's graffiti, littering in a sense.
Yeah.
So I'll pay the £5 fine if the police really want me to, but I don't think anyone cared. Right. Notting Hill Carnival at risk of Hillsborough scale disaster. I am not going to say what would be a very funny joke there because I think it would actually be a hate crime. But
actually, don't do it. No.
Yeah.
I mean, there weren't any stabbings at Hillsborough though.
I don't believe you.
No, but 97 people did die. I'm not being. Because Liverpool fans pushed their way in and managed to make a fucking stand collapse on people. That's why. And, the police didn't deal with it properly. It's like, yeah, kind of.
They were a bit outnumbered. Yeah. They were a bit outnumbered there. And Liverpool fans are just the worst.
They have a reputation, we'll say. There was not an awful lot of people sympathetic, we'll say.
Yeah. I've known Liverpool fans, and they're just... Yeah, Hillsborough is just their 9/11, and they accept zero responsibility. Like, do you think that the fans did anything wrong? Nope.
You're still
police should have just made it all right.
The Sun,
no personal responsibility.
The Sun newspaper is still banned in Liverpool for being not pro Liverpool when covering that whole situation. So, and it's still banned now, despite the fact it was 40 years ago. Hillsborough, something like that, was in the 80s. Yeah, just crazy. So yeah, London Assembly's Police and Crime Committee said that the Metropolitan Police have consistently raised concerns about the possibility of a mass casualty event. At least 1 million people coverage on the streets of West London over the August bank holiday weekend to celebrate the masquerade. Matt Twist, a Met Assistant Commissioner with responsibility for frontline policing, said that the crowd density was probably the most concerning element of the event. So yeah, I think it's more to do with the trampling than the stabbing, but
we can beat the Hillsborough numbers. We have machetes too, don't worry.
It's to bring up a classic William the Bonkerer, it's anti-white to say that the Germans couldn't kill 6 million in 4 years when Africans could kill hundreds of thousands in a few months with machetes.
Yeah. It's like, come on, the Cambodians with their sort of, their 2-3 generation old equipment were able to wipe out like a third of their population. Sure, it was over a couple of years, but
yeah, but we have
come on. The Germans can probably cough up some numbers,
But yeah, I mean, it's no surprise.
Was it Cambodia? It was Cambodia.
Cambodia had the killing fields,
Yeah.
To be fair, to derail quickly, I'm allowed to derail, it's my show. One of my favourite communists getting what they deserve stories comes from Cambodia. It was some I think it was a British guy. It was proper Marxist and was like, I'm going over to Cambodia to praise Pol Pot and see the communist utopia for what it is. I think on like day 2, I don't even think he did anything. I don't even think he did anything wrong.
By any chance?
Oh, he might have been, actually. I've never heard the reason this happened, but effectively he was staying in like kind of guest of honour room on some communist compound. And yeah, guards just went to him in the night, and I think they shot him. Just shot him, and then threw him in a pit or something. Like, just killed him for, like, no reason. And
He probably had glasses.
He probably had glasses, yeah, that's all I can
I
think.
don't know if that was just a Cuba thing. I didn't know if it was also in Cambodia. I
that
mean,
was,
to be fair, it was a
the
general
glasses.
The glasses
The
thing
glasses
was
a big thing in Cambodia.
famously Cambodian,
Was
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, he's smart. He's bourgeois.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Incels need dating coaches to reintegrate into society. You heard him, Tory rebuttal.
sake.
You know,
Oh,
you're
no,
going to get your
Sorry,
dating
just a really
coach.
quick one, but I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
Like, you should have like a set of shirts with like Fidel Castro or Che Guevara with like the motivational quotes about what Che what
Some
was
of their
it,
spicier things.
what he thought about gay people. Oh,
Yeah.
that book is written by an F slur. Just with the like join the revolution artwork on it. You would get absolutely lynched, but it would be so worth it.
Wait. Che Guevara was right wing. You're saying?
Based.
No. He was anti-gay, so that makes him left wing. Because all the gays are on the right. Remember?
True.
There we go. We're safe, lads. We're safe.
Where were we up to? Oh yeah, incels should be offered dating. Sorry, we talked about incels and I just didn't care anymore. So Andrew Thomas, a senior lecturer at the University of Swansea and author of the largest global study into incels by the Commission for Countering Extremism. How did he? I'm not being funny. How did he not feel like killing himself doing that?
Mm.
that sounds so depressing. Said that the relationship coaching could help incels shed their misogynistic ideology. I guarantee you it would do the opposite. I guarantee you it's the worst thing you could do. The incel...
Like, was it top five easy steps to find out who doesn't understand why incels are incels?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
The incel movement is an online community of men who believe they are entitled to sex, but because they have not had sex recently or at all, feel bitterness or hatred towards women.
It's the other way around.
What do you mean it's the other way around?
The feeling of entitlement comes out of the bitterness, at least from what I understand.
Well, yeah, do they feel entitled?
But I think, well, no. But
I wouldn't.
It basically sort of, it's like an overflow of the bitterness where it's like, you sort of see things. You become sort of woke in a certain way. You've become sort of you have a different view of the world around you, and once you stew in that bitterness, you kind of get to this point of like, well, I'm the victim. No, I'm the one that is mistreated here. Everything is happening to me, but everybody else is it's kind of like in the same way that a woman might say, oh, this random man that I know is earning more money than me. I deserve to be earning the same amount of money. And it's sort of that complete that it is. Well, that's about the same bitterness, but
that's about as far as I'd go in saying they feel entitled. I don't know if they feel. Yeah. I don't think they feel entitled. I think they just want sex and aren't getting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
they're just angry.
I was gonna say it's not even. Yeah, it's literally anger and bitterness that boils over into just a general hatred. Mm-hmm. It's the same actual mentality of, and again, I don't like this, but it's the same mentality of like school shooters like Columbine and stuff. It's the hatred and the bitterness that stews, and it's like all of the negative side effects overflow from that. But it's not that you start off with the entitlement. Like, was it one of the guys on? Was it one of you that actually said that? Or was it Elliot Rodger actually never spoke to a woman or something?
No, that was a William the Bonkerer thing.
Was it,
he never asked a woman out, and he didn't kill women. Yeah. He killed mostly men. So, yeah, to say it's misogynistic is a bit. It's not quite right.
Like, it does manifest as misogyny.
There's some misogyny,
but it's like it's a side effect. It's a byproduct, not a cause. It's a symptom, not a cause. Yeah, that's the way I would say.
It's just hilarious. Like, everyone agrees that young men are in a really bad state. Oh, what do we do? Just train them to like talk to women. It's like, oh wow, you've really missed the issue here.
Like what was? I mean, again, we go back. what did Jordan Peterson like? Why was what he said? Why did it impact an entire generation the way it did? He said, "Take some responsibility for yourself." He said, "Look after yourself."
Just do stuff. Yeah.
and he, sort of take responsibility for what you can. It kind of gets you out of that victim mentality. It encourages you to build yourself in a way that is constructive. And does this mean you're going to get laid? Not necessarily.
Well, that's not the point. It gives you a much better chance. Yeah.
It does. And sorry, I get a bit sort of heated around this, but I think that it is such an important thing.
Yeah. It's kind of
like...
just... Yeah, the thing that gets me about these articles as well is that just... Because we're surrounded by these terminologies, they're really easy to pick up on, but incels tend to subscribe to the black pill worldview.
Mm-hmm.
What's a black pill worldview?
Pessimistic worldview. Yeah.
Like it's the whole point of like red pill. Exactly. Yeah. The whole point of like being pilled on something is like if you're blue pilled on something, it's like it's that specific topic. Yeah. If you're red pilled, you understand it better. If you're black pilled about something, you're depressed about it. If you're white pilled, you're optimistic about it. Yeah. But it's about specific areas. Like because whenever I make a video, I always kind of say at the beginning now, like, oh, this is more a black pill one, this is a white pill one, this is more of a grey pill. It's it's just another.
I like
it's just
magenta pilled.
Your Homeland one was a rainbow pill.
That was a rainbow. That was an excellent rainbow pill, and I will. I would love more rainbow pills from from these far right parties, please. But yeah, it's like
But yeah,
it states that there's no.
They're using these internetisms, and you're absolutely right. They have no idea what it actually means.
Can you click that Tommy Innit? He's the young British antidote to Andrew Tate. Because I highly doubt it. Oh, that twinky little twat? Yeah, no.
He makes me want to be Andrew Tate. Like, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done the opposite.
It's literally Jordan Peterson's like, what was it? A heaven to run towards and a hell to run away from. But the thing is, they're kind of both hells to run away from.
Sorry, but you are...
Is he a Minecraft YouTuber?
You are not an alternative to Andrew Tate when you soy jack on Minecraft. What are you talking about?
Look, if men were just like this, it wouldn't be a problem.
To be fair...
Drink your soy.
To be fair to him, his physiognomy below his nose isn't too bad. So
yeah, he's got a good jawline.
Yeah, and that's about it. But
for the rest of him and soy facing.
Oh my word! How old is he? Like 19 or something?
Probably.
Hang on, Mr. Beast ruined Africa.
Oh no, he was one of those people. How dare he dig wells for the poor people?
The anti-Andrew Tate list.
But he made money. It's just like
this guy.
Terrible.
Sorry, former doctor turned entrepreneur. I'm sorry, but
why are they all soy jacks?
I'm sorry, but if they look like I'm going to throw them into a canal, they're not beating Andrew Tate.
No.
Like
come on.
As much as it's probably like a bit lame and a little bit sort of cringe, I would say that if you want to find someone who sort of at least looks the part, but isn't like a complete asshole, someone like a Steven Crowder or like some of the guys on his team, where oh hello, it's kind of like someone who's muscular, well built.
Doesn't even have to be muscular. Like the best guys, outdoor boys.
At this point, I would say muscular. No, I'm doubling down.
The person you need to look up is Dash Rendar. He's built like a Greek statue, but he just does stuff with like medieval weapons and stuff. Really good with his bow, and
I might have seen it.
But he seems like a really nice guy, and like definitely doesn't like the Andrew Tate stuff.
Literally, all you need is a guy with a hobby. That's just better than Andrew Tate. Like
literally anyone from Forged in Fire.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. I mean, this YouTube channel just seems to be a load of young guys who have a five-a-side team. Like that's probably fine. I mean, anti-Andrew Tate, probably not alone. No. Hey, outdoor boys! Hey, they have a good one. Yeah, he's hella based.
Doesn't know who doesn't like he's clearly polluting, and he's got guns. That's Tosh.
Yeah, that's why he's
Yeah.
that's why he's based. He's polluting Alaska.
No, you don't. You don't have to convince me. But,
All right, there you go. There's your muscle, man.
Yeah, steroids. Okay.
I'm not being funny, but
the
he
shoulders are a bit too built.
actually
That's somehow the twinkiest muscular.
Yeah,
man I've ever
right.
seen.
I know the super twink face and then steroid body.
Oh, it's the neck. It's the neck.
Mm.
Yeah, it's weird because normally when you're don't worry, Ashley. I was about to go on a spree about how you can tell who you are and aren't taking steroids.
It's the pure skipped leg day of his like
Yeah, I was just thinking,
Look how
where is the
skinny
proportions?
that is the skinniest waist I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because I used to train with a lot of guys who were juicing, and they used to at least have a good proportionality, like upper and lower. Well, proportional for them. You know?
The balls are all out of proportion. I take it, all tiny.
Well, you know what? You win some, you lose some. At least you. Again, what is this?
Ben Francis, entrepreneur, hustle, rise and grind. Okay, he might not be the worst then.
So then, these are alternatives to Andrew Tate, apparently.
I figured.
The only good ones, like this guy, doesn't seem too bad. Outdoor Boys is great.
Have there been any footballers, like actual?
Yeah, there's been a five-a-sider. There's been these guys who do a
I
five-a-side.
meant like actual, full-on, like famous, like national
Actually,
player.
It's funny you mention that. Actually, unironically, David Beckham is probably actually a very good role model for most people.
I could see that. I feel like he was one of the big. I feel like he was one of the big figures when I was a kid.
Yeah, like I remember.
Gay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
No, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jersey does stunts and challenges, such as taking 100 free kicks with his famous footballer guests. Oh, what? To highlight the
go up. I think the bid for him was above him.
No, makes prank videos. I don't think that guy makes prank videos.
I think he's just got a football shirt.
Yeah,
footballer.
And that's it. So there's no actual footballers, which I appreciate.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, they are rich twats, but you know.
Dude, perfect. Are they still going? I'm surprised at that. Right, a babyface blogger from Texas. I don't think he's replacing Andrew Tate. You can't.
This is a pretty gay list.
I mean,
actually,
you can't do this. Like Andrew Tate came about organically. You can't have articles saying try these people to beat it. It's just not going to happen.
Who are them really gay YouTubers who like measured their testosterone live on air?
The Try Guys.
I'm shocked they weren't on this list.
I mean, you know.
The Try Guys. I remember my wife used to make me watch them back when she used to watch a lot of BuzzFeed. Back when BuzzFeed was actually, I wouldn't go as far as watchable, but.
Oh, for God's sake. Sorry.
No, it was at least entertaining to some extent. But no, because look at, for example, was it Chris Williamson, I think his name is?
Yeah.
He did some steroids, but, you know.
He'd be another good one.
He
decent,
he did take steroids, but he genuinely is not a bad role model overall.
No.
You know, I can think of lots of them, but it's like when they go, oh, you know, the left need a Joe Rogan. It's just like, guys, you had a Joe Rogan. He was Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you had a Joe Rogan. You ruined it. Right. Right.
Finn Taylor's thing on Chris Williamson was great.
What did he do?
He did. Have you ever seen Finn versus the Internet?
No, you keep referencing him. And
right. We'll just send him the video after. Don't spoil it. Just show him the video.
Oh, no. Okay, fine.
Speaking of quote unquote Finn versus the Internet, I see John Boyega decided to 180 his opinion once again.
What do you mean?
What is he at now?
Well, he used to be, he was like, oh, Disney screwed me over with their shit writing, and now he's back to, oh, it was the fans' fault. So he's gone back to the old cringe. I mean, presumably, because I've got to assume he's going to be in a Disney Plus show.
I
was going to say, did they give him another offer?
I've got to assume.
Jesus. Right.
Well, or he's desperate for them too, because he's been in nothing since.
Yeah, right. Anyway. Cero.
What a waste of a character.
Thank you.
I know.
Right. So the bingo card. We'll do it in order as usual. So climate change doesn't happen. Don't know about you. It's been raining like crazy near me. I didn't feel warm, and it's April. This to me says that climate change didn't happen, and as far as I'm aware, polar bears are still alive.
It's been quite nice up in Newcastle, to be honest.
I'll take it. Reform games are 6 MP. It's not done. They've not done that yet.
If anything,
Yeah, we're
they've
further
lost one of
away.
their MPs. Yeah.
We could have
Oh,
crossed
made-
that off in May, but no.
What are we going to say about this third one? Actually, this is the interesting thing.
Ben Habib joins Homeland.
Well,
You
can
know
join
they
Homeland now.
they let in femboys, but unfortunately Ben Habib has his own party. Which, to be honest, looking back on it, we probably should have just put that.
It might be the only way Homeland regains any level of
No,
popularity.
because people will go nuts, being like, "Oh, why have you got a Pakistani in the party now?"
No,
Well,
true,
they'll
yeah.
never do it. Recession.
Are we not already in one?
Not quite. We need to wait two
we
So
are,
the
quarters.
government, does the government have to officiate that we're in a
Yeah.
recession?
Mhm. Yes.
Effect- effectively, yes.
The short version is we are, but we still need to wait for them to admit it.
Yeah.
We are, but they keep changing the rules as to what a recession is.
Well,
It
that's
was
what the
like back
Americans
with
did.
the Democrats. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we'd done that as well.
I don't know if we did it as well, but I know that they did that in the US.
Yeah.
So Storm are no longer leader. No, he's still going.
Oh,
War is still going on. Major reshuffle. I thought that was coming up like a month ago, but
Yeah,
that
not
seems
yet,
to have
no.
slowed down. GTA 6 bombs.
with the redistricting, would that be considered in the major reshuffle? Or are we
No,
talking just in
we're
the
talking
cabinet?
the cabinet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. More riots. We'll have to wait to summer for that. More tax rises. We've not actually had them yet, but have we had the spring
They will
budget?
be.
Or do we have to wait for the autumn one? I take it.
I think we've had it already. It's.
I don't-
I don't think.
I thought that was the one that kicked everyone's ass last.
No. That
No,
was
no, you're
announced
thinking of the
in.
VAT.
No, he's
Or
thinking
you
of
think of the
national
VAT?
insurance. No,
Yeah.
he's-
I don't know.
yeah.
No. it's
Anyway,
the,
those tax
the-
rises were announced in autumn of last year, so that doesn't count because that's not this year, even though they were implemented this year. Trump's not been assassinated yet. Trump
There was
has.
another attempt.
Oh, was there? Excuse me.
Yeah,
Was
it
that?
didn't.
Oh,
It didn't
God.
get. It didn't get far. Like they're not to the point of getting. It was like some younger kid, Satanist kid sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that actually. Well, yeah, it was something that they. I think it was that they were like planning to, but they didn't get to.
Yeah.
They weren't on a suspiciously empty rooftop or anything like that.
Yeah. No.
Trump hasn't bombed Iran yet, but fingers crossed for that.
We did do Yemen. Did we do Yemen? I can't remember actually. Which one was it? That
Yeah,
we did?
He did Yemen, yeah.
Yemen,
But that's
yeah.
not Iran. I know they all look the same to you, Sarah.
I mean, they
I
are
mean-
paid by Iran.
Well, yeah. Well, every country is. Anyway, Stelios leaves the Lotus Eaters. Not unlikely.
one.
The wrong one left, yeah. Islam Party surges. Well, probably.
Kind of.
Reform
Okay.
have been doing quite well,
Oh my god.
and I will make this joke every time.
Jordan Peterson cries. I've
This
been
did
told.
happen.
I've been told by plenty of
Did.
people that happened.
I was watching the Piers Morgan, and the funny thing is that I could literally see him sort of waiting patiently, like sort of
Mhm.
just milking the moment, being like, "Oh, this is going in the thumbnail," and it was. He did put it in the thumbnail.
Yeah, so we've got another pandemic. That's not happened yet. And I think we're past the point of that
But-
being a thing.
They've been trying. Okay, so I
No.
had to visit my local hospital a few days ago, and they are trying to stir up fear about something called
Mhm.
norovirus at the moment, but it's mostly
Oh,
in
that's
they're trying to like scare people over it.
that's another.
They're just making up words at this point, aren't they? Just
I know,
it's just
right?
like someone
Oh,
has to
what do you
think of
mean?
something quickly. You're just like, oh, norovirus.
Norovirus
Well,
is quite a
apparently-
famous
apparently-
virus, to be fair.
Well, apparently it's
No,
just a
I'm
stomach
just-
bug.
I mean,
so-
I actually
Yeah,
haven't
it
heard
is.
of it, so that shows you what I know.
But
it's
yeah,
quite
they
famous
had
one.
signs like absolutely everywhere
Um,
about it. So
yeah, there you
they're
go.
trying.
Surgeon sentence not happening. She got off scot free. Reform gain control of a
See what you
council.
did
That's
Have they really not done that? I'm
yeah. No,
surprised at that.
surgeon got let off. Yeah, Sturgeon.
No, I mean the reform one.
We've not had the council
Well, the
elections yet.
gain council win.
The council elections are in 2 weeks,
All right, okay.
so we're waiting
Well,
on
we've already done our ballot because
Yeah.
I'm lazy, so I do it by post.
that.
You're part of the problem.
I am part of the. I mean, I'm part of many problems, like your demographic problems.
So so true. So true.
Oh,
in many
spicy.
cases.
Many such cases.
Yeah, Vicar said in chat. Zen, the norovirus is like a decade old.
I'm just saying that they were trying to like fearmonger over it. That's all.
There was
I'm
some
not counting
fear-mongering
it.
about bird flu.
Yeah,
Yes,
they were
it
trying
was.
to push that.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
around the winter time though, wasn't it? I remember it.
Mm.
They because
Um,
over here we got like my wife got very very suspicious because it was like why do you feel that you need to register everybody's birds who has them like privately?
Hmm.
And then it was like over a certain amount or something, but it was completely ridiculous.
Of course, you're in favour though of chicken registry, aren't you? Make it harder for your wife
Honestly,
to get
yeah,
more.
yeah. I want to put them on the train and send. No, I'm not going to make that joke. But honestly, I'm still bitter about it. It still upsets me greatly. I had to pluck up the courage to actually go into my back garden the other day, but I managed to do it.
Common blackouts. I actually had a blackout a few weeks ago.
Oh, I had a power cut for 5 minutes the other day. I don't think
shit.
we can count it
It was
yet.
5 minutes for you as well.
Yeah.
Oh, when was it?
Saturday?
Oh, okay. For me, it was a couple. I think it wasn't last Wednesday. It might have been the Wednesday before that.
I'd be shocked if we got blackouts at the same time, given that we're on completely different grids.
No. But the fact
Could you
that like,
imagine that the entire grid goes down?
Yeah.
but in relatively the same month. Yeah, it was. Sorry, it was on the 10th, so about 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
Oh, there you
that was. I was right in the middle of streaming Elden Ring. That was annoying.
Oh, rip.
Oh no.
I wasn't in a boss, thankfully. I was just pissing around.
Okay,
It scared the shit out of me because like.
Could you imagine that you're on Elden Beast or America or something? The power just goes out. You're like,
No. But
no,
it was
no.
like. But it was like at like midnight, like almost on the dot midnight. So I was actually pitch
Jeez.
black and couldn't see a thing. I couldn't even find my phone.
That's mad.
And then it just came back on about 5 minutes later, but it scared the piss out of me.
Honestly,
Right, and Tommy Robinson gets arrested. Well, he's in jail.
he's in.
I was
isn't
going
he
to
in
say
solitary?
re-arrested.
We were gonna count if he failed his appeal for that, I think.
Yeah.
Didn't that happen? Oh,
Yeah.
you failed an appeal to at least leave solitary, so I don't think that's the same thing.
I thought you requested solitary.
He did request solitary.
No, apparently it's been horrendous for him. Which,
Yeah, but he still requested it.
I mean, if I
didn't know that.
was him, I'd rather be in solitary.
I would also prefer solitary.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, my life is already like solitary.
I mean, I was gonna say, it depends on like the state of the solitary. If I got at least books in solitary, I think I'd be alright.
I think he gets that.
I mean, like
I'd be
his
fine
time
with
in his time in Belmarsh did sound genuinely awful when he's just being attacked by all the Muslims and just I mean, he looked really bad, really skinny coming out of that.
Rip.
Yeah, something like this was his condition after 9 weeks in solitary. Now he's gonna be in it for 18 months. Fucking hell.
The thing is, again, like,
No.
and I understand the point of it, where it's like he has actually got some very serious, things, and he's not a great person, but
No.
but man, like, he is going through a lot of hell in this,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
he is a sort of a martyr, whether we like it or not.
well,
His life has sort of turned into a sort of right-wing martyrship.
Well, I just have no sympathy. It's always, frankly, it's mostly a grift. Like, you could say, oh, who goes to jail for a grift? It's like, well, Tommy Robinson, he gets in pretty nice hotels in Cyprus. It's. I don't have sympathy.
Dip, though, isn't it? Like, you either get out and you get back to your hotel in Cyprus, or you get your ribs broken and then you get disappeared.
Well, so far, every time he's been to jail, he's got his Cyprus, hasn't he? So, why not go back for another one?
Maybe I should go.
But I mean, I'm not being funny. Like, he was warned, oh, don't keep silent stuff. It's full of crap, by the way. The reason he was told to take it down is because a fucking 14-year-old and his family had to go into hiding because they ended up getting death threats from the nonsense that was in the Silence documentary. And he said, oh, I'm going to go to jail over this. And so the court was like, well, you're going to jail over it, so no sympathy. So no, I don't particularly have sympathy for him. Like, he knew he was going to go into solitary. He knew it was going to be for years, and he still did it. So he gets what he deserves. I'm not having this. I'm not having this.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I know most people agree here, but I just every time I hear sympathy, I'm just like, I can't handle it. No, you're not having it. Anyway, he failed his appeal, so screw it, we're crossing it off. Because we
You
can.
didn't cross off the Jordan Peterson cries.
Yeah, I did.
He did.
Oh,
Right there,
no,
it's-
sorry, I was watching. Sorry, I
You're
was
watching the
watching
Paul's
the
stream.
I was watching the actual live stream and I had it paused.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I did forget to
Oh,
do
there
the
you go.
climate change one though, so that's done. So yeah, we're doing pretty good with the bingo card, I'd say. So I think with that, we can, we can pretty much end it. Where's the thumb? There it is. Yeah, I don't know if you saw Zen, but we went through the whole homeland is full of gays now and collapsing because of it.
I didn't. I fell asleep. I was really tired after
Wow.
work today. So.
Well, that's okay. You can catch up on
You-
the video I made the other day.
You also missed
I
us
did-
bullying
I did see the
Tharium
thumbnail
over
for that.
reform.
Oh, classic.
Oh, well, that happens all the time.
Also, I'm afraid to say you are going to have to convert into a femboy. It's because we're on the right. You understand?
Mhm.
I just want to say,
Many would argue that's a foregone conclusion.
I
to be
just
honest.
want to
would
say, if you have long hair, you're a fanboy. I don't make the rules.
Oh well, there you go. Then I'm done.
Sorry, Tharium, you're having to be kicked out of Homeland.
I mean, I am. No, I wouldn't say it's long yet, but I have been growing out my hair recently.
Well, I
But
also
my
don't,
hair.
I also don't go to the gym, and I've got a fantastic ass. So many would argue that's all the conditions met.
Right. Okay. Well,
But then-
but before we turn this into
If you went to the
Homeland,
gym, it would be even better, my dude.
Oh
Right.
no.
Alright, carry on.
anyway. Well, I'm wrapping up now. So thank you, Zen, even though you were very late.
I'm
So
sorry.
thank you for coming on.
You normally will wake me up with further pings, and that normally you'll get us.
I'm not being funny, but you literally even now, less than 24 hours ago, you said you'd be on.
Yeah,
to be
I know.
fair.
I'd forgotten. I posted that before I went to bed. So
Oh god.
Yeah, I was in bed
Anyway,
when I saw the message.
well, don't worry about it. We'll get you on again anyway. Thank you very much.
I shall pay for my sins.
Thank you very much, Cero, for coming on as well.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And yeah, you're very welcome. And finally, thank you to our far right token, long-haired simp. No, not simp. Fanboy, Tharium.
Mhm. Thank you.
There you go.
Anytime.
He's also a cowboy, yes.
Is he a cat boy?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm definitely a furry.
He's a
I'm
furry.
going to send him the cat
Amazing.
ears. I need his PO box.
Right. Anyway, next week it'll be a Tosh Talks. Also, I'll need topic suggestions again. I probably have loads, but I'll throw out another one anyway. The poll for that obviously will be out Friday, and we'll do it next Tuesday. And then Laughing at the Guardian will. Actually, I don't think I can do that. Can I do that? Yes, I can do that. Never mind. Yes, Laughing at the Guardian will be in be next Saturday. As for other streams, probably going to try and start up gaming streams again. I still have to play Life is Strange, and I also have to play Hollow Knight. Probably
You
just.
also still need to play Subnautica.
Oh, I do. That's a good point. Right, there you go. Got 3
Have you
series to
played
go
Elden
there.
Ring yet?
I'm not going to play Elden Ring.
Elden Ring's a
Play
big
El-
fucking game for streaming, especially with how little Harrion streams. I've been streaming it weekly for the last 3 months, and I'm still nowhere near the end.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've got 100 hours or something on it, and I still haven't completed it on my save.
It's fantastic, to be fair.
I mean,
It is good.
I gave up on a Disco Elysium stream just because streaming it, I basically just found too difficult. So I played it by myself.
That game's a bit much.
I probably could do it, but
There's lots of reading, though, isn't it?
yeah, but it's read to you, so
It
it's
is.
like, oh, that'll save my voice. And I'm just like, I'd rather do this at my own pace than try and entertain an audience while I do it. But I don't really mind it with Hollow Knight or Life is
No,
Strange. So.
You are. It's completely right. There are some games that are better to stream than others. For
Yeah.
example, an excellent game which you would never want to stream is Planescape Torment, for example.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it's amazing game. It's probably one of the best books you've ever played. There's so much reading,
There
so
you go.
much reading.
I've heard that Rogue Trader, the game, is a lot like that. I've tried playing that.
Yeah.
I got that on a good sale, and I tried
All the
playing
Owlbear
it.
games are like that. I've got the
I've got
special
a-
edition. I've
think
got the collector's edition box somewhere.
I think I got out of the tutorial, and on the first planet, I was just like, right, it's not clicking with me. It's the worst it's the worst things of XCOM.
I like XCOM as well.
I like XCOM but I don't at the same time. It's complicated.
Oh no, yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. It's when you miss on like a
Mhm.
90% accuracy. All right, anyway, sorry, chat. Let's before I start talking about XCOM.
Anyway,
They're
if you
about to go on a William the Bunker autistic conversation.
anyway, if you
I
anyway,
didn't mention World War One.
I know. Well, anyway, there might be gaming streams. I don't know yet, but if I start them up again, they will be regular. I can guarantee that. Right, so with that, do subscribe, like, become a member, go over to my channel as well, and that's pretty much all the housekeeping I need to do because I